This time next week, I will be relaxing on a beach. What will you be doing this time next week? Maybe you will be practicing future continuous tense. Hi, I'm Cara, an English teacher at Number One Institute, and I have new English lessons for you every single Sunday. Sometimes they are grammar lessons, like today. Other times I teach you Number One news lessons, which is to improve your reading, writing, and vocabulary. And other times it's a listening lesson where you listen to a conversation, so you can also improve your speaking skills. Today's lesson is about the future continuous tense. You might also hear it called the future progressive tense. So if you hear either of these two terms, you can be sure they are talking about the same thing. So I'm going to teach you how to use it and when to use it. If you haven't already, make sure you watch my other lesson on making future plans. I'll link it up here. It talks about will, going to, and present continuous for the future. You can also do all the exercises here on this website to make sure you understand how to talk about future plans. I've put the link in the description box below. So you probably all know how to use present continuous tense to talk about what you are doing right now. So what you are in the middle of doing right now. For example, I'm teaching you English right now, and you're watching my video. Both of these things are happening right now. We're in the middle of it. Well, we can use future continuous to talk about something that will be happening at a particular time in the future. Tonight I will watch television from 7 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. So I could say I'll be watching television at 8 p.m. So we can use future continuous when we will be in the middle of doing something at a specific time in the future. Now, can you see the form? Will, be, and the verb with ing. It's very important with future continuous that we include a time marker. In this sentence, the time marker is 8 p.m. So, what will you be doing at 8 p.m. tonight? Tell me in the comments below. This time next week, we will be flying to Asia. I will be living in Portugal in 2021. Don't ring me at 10 p.m. because I'll be sleeping. Can you see the time markers in each of these sentences? In the first one, it's this time next week. So exactly this time, but next Sunday. In the second one, it's 2021. And in the third example, it's 10 p.m. So these sentences are all in the positive. Will, be, verb-ing. Let's change the first two to negative. This time next week, we will not be flying to Asia. We can also use a contraction. Instead of we will not be, we say won't. We won't be. The second sentence, I won't be living in Portugal in 2021. All right, we've done positive, we've done negative. Now let's look at the questions. For yes/no questions, we say will plus the subject plus be and then verb ing. For example, will you be sleeping at 10 p.m. tonight? Will she be traveling around Europe next year? For WH questions, we use the WH word, where, when, who, then will, then the subject, then be, and the verb with ing. For example, what will you be doing this time next week? Where will you be living in 2025? Okay, so we've covered how to make future continuous, positive, negative, and questions. But the most important, when do we use, or how do you know when to use future continuous? There are 4 different occasions when we can use future continuous. We use future continuous to talk about other actions in the future. So, for example, this time next year I'll be traveling overseas, or I can't come tonight because I'll be studying for the exam. I won't be doing any heavy lifting until my back has healed. If the action is already in progress, so we're doing it now and we will be doing it in the future, we use still. For example, I can't join you tonight because I'll still be working on this assignment. Or, I'll still be surfing when I'm 100. We also use future continuous to guess future actions because we don't always know the future. For example, look at those clouds. It'll be raining by the time we get there. I reckon she'll be getting engaged while they're on holiday. I don't think she'll be coming on the weekend. She has a lot of work to do. Okay, thirdly, this is a bit strange, but we can use a future continuous to talk about guesses about right now, so not about the future. So we use the future continuous form, but we're guessing about the present. So for example, I can't speak to her now, she'll be working. So I'm guessing that she is working. They'll be boarding their flight now. So I know approximately that that was their plan, so it's a good guess. They'll be boarding their flight now. And finally, we use future continuous to ask polite questions. And this is quite formal, so you might find this in a nice hotel or a nice restaurant or maybe a nice shop. For example, excuse me, will you be needing this chair? Will you be ordering wine this evening? So that's at a restaurant. How long will you be staying with us? At a hotel. How will you be paying for this? Okay, so remember I have all this information and some exercises on this website. So I encourage you after this video to go and have a look there. But first, I want to compare the future continuous with some other tenses. So let's start with the future simple. So when do you use future continuous and when do you use the future simple? Future simple is used when an action is in the future and expected to be completed. Let's look at an example. Tomorrow I have an exercise class from 5 p.m. until 6 p.m. So for future simple, I will leave home at 4:30 p.m. I will arrive at 5 p.m. I will finish at 6 p.m. I will get home at 6:30 p.m. Can you see how all these actions are short and they are completed at the time I give? For future continuous, we are talking about something that will continue for a period of time and that we are in the middle of. For example, at 4:45 p.m., I will be driving. At 5:30 p.m., I will be exercising. Does that make sense? Okay, now let's compare present continuous and future continuous. Remember, present continuous can be used to talk about the future. Let's look at these two sentences. I'm playing tennis tomorrow. I'll be playing tennis tomorrow, so I won't be home when you visit. The two sentences are very similar. The first is present continuous, and we can use this to talk about a future arrangement. The second sentence, I have added another part to help to explain the difference. Future continuous implies that playing tennis is happening over a period of time in the future and therefore intersects with something else. In this case, your visit. You could also say, I'm playing tennis tomorrow, so I won't be home when you visit. But in this case, it's not explicit that the tennis and the visit are happening at the same time. Is this clear? If not, don't worry. The difference is very, very small, and in day-to-day conversation, nobody is going to misunderstand you. But if you do want to understand this fully and you have some questions, please ask in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I'd love you to watch my other videos too, so please don't forget to subscribe and also click the bell. That way you won't miss any of my future lessons. I hope you have a great week and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye!